The system is crashing. And they still want you to pretend you don't see the smoke. But smoke tells the truth. It means something underneath is catching fire. If you're new here, welcome in. Welcome in, YouTube and TikTok. You guys can see it everywhere. Prices climbing like vines. Promises cracking like glass. People hustling just to breathe. And every headline keeps telling you it's fine. They say it's temporary, but nothing that's burning ever goes back to what it was. Drop a wolf emoji in the chat if you've ever felt and looked and realized that the world you were promised doesn't even exist anymore. And here's the thing. They built this world like a machine. Tight gears and shiny levers and perfectly matched lives. Perfectly measured. But nobody told them that machines rust when they're fed lies instead of oil. And now the gears are grinding. You hear it in the news. You feel it in your chest. System online. System online. You sense it when you scroll through the noise. Everyone's pretending to be okay while quietly searching for the exit. I found mine. I stopped waiting for someone to rebuild what was never meant for me. I built my own. I built Soul Plus Systems, not as a brand, but as a lifeboat. I see you over there, Wolf. I appreciate that love. Thank you so much for that energy. Right back at you. The vault, the freedom funnel, they weren't projects. They were survival instincts turned into blueprints. Because if the system's crashing, you don't wait for rescue. You build your own landing pad. What's up, Kristen? What's up, Hayden? Welcome in, guys. Type system online, if you know what I mean. If you've ever had to start over with nothing and design a new path from pure willpower, the world runs on repetition, and they call it security. But repetition without soul, it's just polite collapse. I appreciate that love over there. Thank you, guys. Welcome in, Ekin. Welcome in, y'all. Let me know where you guys are joining me from today. Type system online, guys, if you know what I mean. If you've ever had to start over from nothing and design a new path from pure willpower, the world runs on repetition and they call it security, guys. So I chose rhythm instead and discipline with a heartbeat. And you can rebuild from rhythm. You can scale from rhythm. And you can turn heartbreak into architecture when you stop begging to be included. In my world, inclusion isn't something that you're granted. It's something you earn through alignment. And that's why the vault exists. It's where the aligned go to recharge and remember what freedom sounds like. And the freedom funnel, that's where we learn to point into print sovereignty instead of waiting for checks, you guys. Welcome in, TikTok. Tommy, I see. Jansen, I see you guys. Welcome in. If you want to understand what that means, stick around because I'm not here to teach motivation. I'm here to show you how systems replace luck. See, motivation fades when the crash gets loud, but structure, it keeps you standing. What's up, K2O? Welcome in. Welcome in, Talon. And structure doesn't have to mean rigid. It means real. It means you can measure your freedom instead of just fantasizing about it. If you've ever looked at your week and thought, there has to be more than this, hit that heart or share button right now. That's your sign that you guys are ready to build. I see you, YouTube. Welcome in, Wolves. Let me know where you guys are joining me from in the comments below. When everything started breaking, I noticed something. People stopped talking about dreams. And they started talking about discounts, about surviving the month instead of shaping the rest of the year. And somewhere between those conversations, creativity got buried under invoices. But here's the secret. Welcome in, y'all. Welcome in, Cameron, Joe, Hunter, Sky, Cyber, Chicken, Chris, Cameron. Welcome in, TikTok. I see you guys. Drop the wolf emoji in the comments below and let me know where you guys are viewing me from today. And here's the secret. Every crash creates space. And when the walls fall, you see the foundation. And if you know how to build, that's where the real game begins. And that's when I started studying the patterns. What works, what scales, and what repeats without rotting. I realized that every empire, digital, corporate, or personal, it all runs on systems. The only difference between control and freedom is who writes the code. So let me ask you, who's writing the code for your life right now? You or the system? Type me if you're ready to take that back. Welcome in, 3Base, and Moist, Byron, Annabella, Ivan, and Kaden. Y'all drop that wolf emoji in the comments below. Let's go, guys. That's what Soul Plus Systems is. This was born. One person refusing to keep downloading fear updates. And that's what today's live is about. The crash, the rebuild, and the circle of wolves standing ready at the edge of what's next. Let's talk about that word, wolves. People think wolves mean danger. They hear howl and think it's hunger. But a real wolf doesn't chase chaos. A real wolf watches, studies, and waits. And while the system screams about order, wolves create equilibrium. We don't hunt for attention. We hunt for alignment. And if that fucking hits, drop the wolf emoji and type in order through alignment in the comments. Let's make that a code phrase. Order through alignment. Because that's what this pack is becoming. Builders, thinkers, creatives who understand that the old blueprints are useless. We're not tearing the world down. We're engineering a better one. So when people ask, how are you staying so calm when everything's collapsing? I tell them, because I built my own calm before the chaos. What's up? Welcome in, SC, Noah, Sherwell, Blessed, Carson, Henry, Keaton. You guys, welcome in. TikTok, YouTube, you're in the house. Let's go, guys. Saturday. Let's go. And that's the power of systems, you guys. You don't wait until the storm hits to design the shelter. If you want to see how that works, you'll find it inside the vault. And I built it for days like this. Days when everything looks like fire. But you know something? Fire is just transformation with better lighting. And that's all this crash is. Transformation with smoke signals. Miles, welcome in, guys. And now let's talk about reality. Because a lot of you watching feel that tension between what you're told to do and what you know you're meant to do. You scroll between bills and dreams and trying to reconcile both. I've lived there too. Until I realized every scroll is a signal and every click is data. And data can be turned into direction. And that's how the Freedom Funnel started. Not a business move, but as a rebellion against wasted clicks. Every like, every comment, every conversion, it all has weight. I see you guys giving me that heart over there on TikTok. I appreciate you guys. Keep that energy coming back. Right back at you guys. I appreciate you guys. Keep that energy going. Let's go, guys. You just need to organize yourselves. So here's the real question. If every action you took online earned you equity in your own freedom, what would you do differently? Comment your answer, because I read these after every single live. All of your comments get read, and I go through every single comment. Because when you start measuring meaning instead of minutes, the system can't control you anymore. And here's the kicker. They know it. The algorithms, the corporations, the gatekeepers, they all sense the wolves circling the door. And that's why they keep changing the locks. The locks don't stop wolves. They just slow the unprepared. Now let's get personal for a minute. There was a time that I thought stability meant staying quiet. That if I played by the rules, the system would protect me. And what it really did was numb me. You know, I watched too many good people burn out inside their own cages. And I promised myself I'd never mistake silence for peace again. So I built something that could speak even when I couldn't. And that's what these lives are. And that's what Soul Plus Systems became. A voice that doesn't ask for permission to exist. If you've ever lost your voice and had to rebuild it, type Encrypted No More, because that's our creed. Because here's the paradox. The system taught us to survive, but never to self-govern. It handed us schedules, not sovereignty. And I don't know about you, but I'm done renting my power from people who don't even know my name. And that's why I keep telling you, get inside the vault. It's not a product. It's protection. It's where we document the new rules before the old world rewrites them. Every Friday, new drops, new systems, and new soul work. That's how revolutions are archived quietly and consistently. The Kid, Memphis, Mr. Jamarcus, Javi, Ladogeared, Vikram, Taj, and Lane. Y'all, welcome in TikTok. TikTok in the house. YouTube over here. What's up? Welcome in, YouTube. Let's go, guys. Type Encrypted No More if you feel that shit. Let's go. But don't get it twisted, you guys. This isn't about abandoning everything. It's about auditing it. Audit your habits. It's important. Like, I cannot even tell you guys how important it is to audit your own habits, your inputs, and your alliances, because every feed that you follow writes code in your own mind. Literally, choose the ones that upgrade you. Tell me, what's one input that you're cutting out this month that doesn't serve you? Type it in the chat. I want to see what code you guys are deleting. Because when enough of us delete the same virus, the system crashes faster. And that's the real reboot. And it crashes. And as it crashes, something wild is happening. You can feel it right now. All of it. Creators, coders, writers, and dreamers, they're all waking up at once. And the wolves are circling the door. Not to destroy the world, but to reclaim it. Follow this page. Subscribe on YouTube. Share the stream. And let's flood the algorithm with something it can't quantify. Human intention. And that's how we rise in the noise. And here's the thing about collapse. Most people freeze. They stand in the ashes arguing about who started the fire. And builders, we use the heat. Every time that I went live, every time that I launched something small and imperfect, I was testing bricks. I was testing what could hold weight. You don't build freedom overnight. You pour it layer by layer, then you test it, and then you let it cure. I see you guys going over there in TikTok. What are you guys working on right now? Let me know in the comments below. Drop the wolf emoji if it's your first time in, guys. I'd like to see who's showing up with me. Let's go, guys. If you're not ashamed to say that you're a wolf, then drop the wolf emoji. If you guys have ever built anything from nothing, a skill, a channel, a business, drop brick by brick in the chat. Brick by brick. My first blueprint was a vault. I literally wanted a place that could hold knowledge like currency. truth stored behind walls that greed can't monetize. And inside those walls, I started archiving systems, soul work, and strategy and discipline and automation and storytelling and compliance and the real power stack. If you're not inside yet, NeonIncome.ai. The vault's open, guys. It's where structure meets soul. Then came the freedom funnel, because power without process still burns out. And the freedom funnel is how you scale with integrity. It's not a sales trick. It's a map that turns creativity into cash flow without losing yourself. And if you're tired of chasing trends and ready to build systems that actually feed you, type scale soulfully. When I started, I didn't have investors, mentors, or cheerleaders. I had repetition, like going to the gym. You're working on a set, working on your reps. You keep it going, you're stacking wins. Repetition is how you train the algorithm in your own mind at the same time. Because literally, this ain't for the weak. And that's why I don't speak to the sheep. I call the wolves. And I say that because unless you have a certain mindset and you're willing to be disciplined and show up, number one, show up for yourselves. And if you don't do that, then it is never going to work. Like I said, I'm not here to encourage you guys. I'm here to keep it real with no fluff and no bullshit. It's how the wolves hunt, pattern and patience and precision. You post, you test, and you refine it. And that's not failure. That's literally feedback. Every comment and data, every view, data. Every silence, data. The freedom funnel runs on all of that truth. All of it. So let me show you guys the math that nobody will teach you. All right, the secret recipe part of it anyway. Consistency times clarity equals credibility. And credibility times conversion equals freedom. And freedom times discipline equals legacy. And if that formula hits, screenshot this stream because you're going to need it later. What's up, again? What's up over there on YouTube? I see you guys. Welcome in, wolves. If you're brand new to NeonIncome.ai, make sure that you drop the wolf emoji in the comments below. And if you guys are catching me on the replay, type replay in the comments below so that I know you guys are catching me on the replay as well. Go ahead and like, share, follow, and subscribe if any of this message is resonating with you, because if you're here and you've been here this whole time, you're just dropping in, but you can't just leave. Your heart and mind. And people think the systems kill creativity. Wrong. Systems protect it. And they keep you from leaking energy into chaos. And burnout doesn't come from working too hard. It comes from working without architecture. And when your effort has no exoskeleton, every storm feels personal. Every storm feels personal. And systems are how you build shelter from your own brilliance. And that's why the vault is built on rhythm. Every other Friday, new drops, new layer, new neural paths. And that rhythm isn't marketing. It's maintenance. Sophia, Fadia, Mike, Justy, Lane, Toji, Vike. Yo, welcome in TikTok. If y'all feel that energy, go ahead and drop some comments below, guys. Let me know where you guys are joining me from today. Go check it after this live. Even the free preview will show you what structured sovereignty feels like. So here's how the funnel works. It has 3 movements: attract, automate, and ascend. Attract. You stop begging for attention. You become gravity and you speak truth. That makes the right people stay and the wrong people scroll. Automate. You turn every repeated action into a rule. If you're answering the same question twice, that's a workflow waiting to be built. Ascend. You lift your people with you, and you build in a way that anyone following, they can fucking climb that trail too. Tell me in chat, which step are you in right now? Attract, automate, or ascend? Because once you know your stage, strategy gets simple. Simplicity scales faster than spectacle. And if you want templates for each stage, they're inside the vault. I loaded the exact frameworks that I use. No gatekeeping, no fluff, no bullshit. And let's be honest, building is lonely at first. You're going to question yourself. You'll lose people who loved your silence more than your evolution. And that's part of the algorithm of growth. And the moment you start structuring your life, you expose the ones who benefited from your chaos. And if you've ever felt that shift where your boundaries made people uncomfortable, drop wolf logic below. And that's why community matters. Wolves hunt alone, but survive in packs. And the vault is that pack. It's digital, but the loyalty, it's primal. So let me paint a scene. It's 3 a.m. You're editing, coding, planning, and doubting. You think nobody sees you. But somewhere across the world, another wolf is awake, writing, copy, building automations, and praying that one more test converts. And that's the beauty of this era. We're connected by the work, not the noise. And that's why I live stream, not for vanity metrics, but because every time I go live, another wolf hears the call. And if this feed found you at the right time, follow right now and let the algorithm know you're awake. There was a night when I almost stopped building and the numbers looked flat and the trolls were loud. I thought maybe the system was right. Maybe you can't rebuild alone. But then I remembered, wolves don't howl because someone didn't clap. They howl to remind the forest that they exist. Type I exist if you ever had to remind life that you're still here. And that night, I went live anyways. No script, no polish, just truth. And guess what happened? The right 10 people heard it. One became a client and one became a collaborator. And the rest became data that guided the next move. And that's all it takes. One live, one listener, one layer at a time. And when you build transparency, you turn spectators into witnesses. And witnesses become believers. And believers become builders. And that's how movements scale. People don't join because you're perfect. They join because you're progressing. And that's the energy inside. The Freedom Funnel course Progress over polish. Go see it when the stream ends. Everything you create is an echo of your internal system. Chaotic inside, chaotic output. Ordered inside, magnetic output. That's not spirituality. That's physics. And that's why Soul Plus Systems is in 2 words. It's 1 frequency. Soul gives purpose, and systems give permanence. Without both, everything eventually collapses. Which one are you mastering right now? Soul or system? Drop it below. And let's anchor this with action, you guys. After this live, write down 3 systems that you rely on every single day. Maybe it's your morning routine, your posting schedule, your budgeting habit. Then ask, does this system serve my soul or suppress it? If it suppresses it, re-engineer it. That's your homework until tomorrow's stream. Tag Soul Plus Systems. If you post about it, I'll find you. Every builder has a threshold moment. The second you realize the crash isn't even chasing you, that it's clearing the path for you, that's when you stop running and start drafting blueprints in the dust. And I've lived every moment more than once. Each time the same feeling, quiet clarity before the surge. And that's when I know the wolves are moving. They're not coming with torches. They're coming with toolkits. Not revolution, restoration. And if you feel that wave rising in your own life, type, the wolves are moving. Let's fill this feed with prophecy. Because builders don't panic during crashes, they prototype. And every shutdown is a beta test for the next version of you. And the Freedom Funnel taught me that systems aren't cages. They're circuits. Electric, adaptable, and you can reroute them whenever you choose. And that's the difference between control and creation. Control resists change, and creation rewrites it. And if you need the wiring diagram, it's waiting in the vault. You already have the access link. We talked about collapse. We talked about construction. But there's one last phase before freedom. Circling. Circling is the art of patience before takeover. The wolves know the door's already cracked. And they don't waste energy pounding. They wait for the hinge to give. And if you're in that phase, waiting, building, watching, comment, circling, because you guys are not stuck. You're studying. When the moment comes, and it always does come, and the ones who were circling walk through like they owned it the whole time. And that's where we're headed to next. Stay right here. Segmented 3 is the prophecy. The moment the doors open, hit follow, share the stream, and tag someone who's ready to step through with you. You guys can feel it, the hum behind the noise. And the algorithms twitch, and the markets cough, and the headlines repeat themselves like bad code. And the system isn't sleeping, it's seizing. But in the quiet corners of the net, the wolves are awake, circling, listening for the hinge. And if you can feel that pulse in your chest right now, type, I hear it. That's not anxiety. It's alignment. And when collapse comes, people run to leaders. Wolves run to each other. No one crown and no one savior. Just signal and response. And that's what these lives are. A digital campfire for the ones who refuse to go back to sleep. Every comment, every share, and every replay, it's paw prints on new ground. Follow this feed if you guys are done waiting for permission. The vault and freedom funnel are the blueprints, and this pack is the proof. They said the market decides value, and we say value is decided by contribution. And they said attention is currency, and we say focus is gold. And while they argue about the economy, we're building one out of integrity. They call it soulless systems because you can't monetize authenticity unless you're living it. If that line hits right, integrity is income, and let it trend until the system chokes on it. And every generation has its awakening. Throttle us out, guys. TikTok, YouTube. Let's go, guys. Live Fest 25 in the house. Let's go. Every generation has its awakening. Ours just happens to be live streamed. I've watched the metrics. When you speak truth, the data dips, and then it spikes. And that's the sound of the wolf sniffing out signal through static. They know what's real. You can't fake frequency. Stay to the end of the stream, and you'll know exactly how to start your build, your own den, and your own system, and your own signature. Welcome in, YouTube, NeonIncome.ai in the house. Because they will try to patch the cracks, and they'll paint your slogans on the same old walls. And they'll wear brand control as comfort, and we'll keep building anyway. Because wolves, we don't need permission slips. We need coordinates. And here's yours. NeonIncome.ai. Check us out over on the website. That's where the next layer awaits. The vault for the soul and the funnel for the scale. If you're circling, say it. Coordinates locked. Let's map the movement. Look, I know what it feels like to wonder if any of this matters and if one person can really shift anything. If one really person could shift anything, but that's how every pack starts. It's one howl in the dark, and then another, and then the forest answers. And that's what's happening here. This isn't a following. It's a frequency alignment. It's a frequency alignment. And haters get tossed. So goodbye. Yeah, I'm not going to deal with that, guys. You're going to hate on me. You guys can get going because this ain't your world. So, you know, that's what's happening here. You guys show up, you comment, you build, and that's resonance. And resonance builds reality. And before the live ends, make the algorithm work for you. Hit follow, drop a wolf emoji, and share. And let's amplify resonance. And let me tell you about something about the door we're circling. It's not locked anymore. It's just waiting for someone steady enough to turn the handle. And the system built that door to keep creators out. But the handle was always on our side. Every post you publish, every idea you monetize, every boundary that you hold, that's another rotation of the handle. How many rotations have you made this year? 1? 10? Comment your number and let's count the turns together. So let me know, guys, in the comments below. You guys are awfully quiet. except for some trolls that are online. So if you guys are here in TikTok, Live Face 25, let's go, guys. And we got YouTube up in the house over here. So if you guys are truly being cool people, drop the wolf emoji over here, because if not, y'all can scroll, because I definitely don't speak to sheep. I do call the wolves. And that you want to keep dropping comments over here. It just keeps spiking the analytics. Keep doing the data for me and keep talking about us, because we're not going nowhere. We're meant to make you guys uncomfortable. It's meant to make you uncomfortable. So if it has a reaction in you, then the truth hit. Wolves don't scream about victory. We move through the opening. And soon the hinges are going to give. And when they do, it won't be chaos. It'll be quiet. And they enter eyes forward with zero apologies. Zero. And that's how freedom sounds. Footsteps, not fireworks. And you won't need to announce that you made it, because your own systems will speak louder than any troll's words will ever do. If you're ready to be that quiet storm, type Encrypted No More, and that's our entity code. Encrypted No More. Imagine this, 6 months from now, your vault stocked, your funnel automated, and your time your own. You wake up, you check the dashboard, you realize stability isn't something you chase. It's something that you engineered. And that's not a fantasy, that's a formula. Sol plus systems equals sustainability. Repeat it in chat so that you guys remember it later. Sol plus systems equals sustainability. People will call it luck. Let them. They called fire a curse before they learned to cook with it. You're not lucky. You're luminous. You studied your chaos until it became choreography. And that's what wolves do. They learn rhythm from the storm. And if you're ready to choreograph your own freedom, grab a vault pass after the stream. I built the steps already. You just walk them. What's up, Zach? I know some of you are watching and you're tired. You built before and you lost. You tried consistency and you got silence. And you've trusted people who ghosted once the growth started. You're not broken. You're buffering. And every delay is a data loading. And when it finishes, you realize nothing was wasted. Not a single line of code in your story. And if that lands, drop buffering, not becoming. That's the phase before breakthrough. And when the door finally swings open, don't rush. Stand there for a minute. I feel the air change. And that's the scent of sovereignty. And then walk in, calm. Because the world needs builders who remember what it costs to get here. And that's legacy. Not the trophies and not the views, but the architecture that outlives your exhaustion. Legacy starts inside the vault. You'll see the structure, the drops, the rhythm. Freedom's blueprint is waiting. So yes, the system is crashing. Let it. Because while they rebuild their cages, we're rebuilding corridors. Corridors lined with code and courage. Corridors that lead to gardens and studios and sanctuaries. And corridors that end in doors already unlocked. And if you listen real close, past the panic and past the politics, you'll hear it. The low growl of creation, the circle tightening, and the wolves at the door. We're not coming for war. We're coming for what's ours. And if you're part of that movement, flood the chat with the wolf emoji right now and let's show them how many of us are awake. This is Soul Plus Systems. This is the vault, the freedom funnel, the blueprint, and the fire. I'm Jen. Encrypted No More. Follow, share, build, repeat. The door's open. Walk through.